Welcome to Restore 2022. Today we're reading Luke 24, the final chapter of his Gospel. The Jewish feast of Passover is usually celebrated at home with family and friends. This year, though, Jesus and his disciples celebrated it in Jerusalem together with at least some family and friends. Mary, the mother of Jesus, was there, and Matthew 28 verse 10 suggests Jesus' brothers were there too. So the writers of James and Jude were witnesses of all that happened. Then there was Cleopas, who lived in Emmaus, and he was identified by the early church as Jesus' uncle, Mary's brother-in-law. And at least one disciple was accompanied by his mother. Mary, the mother of James the Less, was among the women who visited Jesus' tomb. The friends included Mary Magdalene and Joanna, the wife of Herod's household manager. These women had been healed by Jesus early in his ministry and had followed him as supporters. All of them together became witnesses of the most sensational supernatural act of God in human history, the resurrection of Jesus Christ. When Luke opened his Gospel, he promised to write an orderly account of all the things concerning Jesus, and he's kept his word. This chapter, for instance, couldn't be more orderly or straightforward. From morning to evening, he chronicles the events of the day when Jesus rose from the dead. At first light, some of the women went to Jesus' tomb, but it was empty, and angels told them that Jesus is risen. Surely they remembered him telling them that on the third day he would be raised. Rushing back to the others, the women told them what the angels had said, and they were laughed out of court. Though Peter did rush off to check it out for himself, and he found the tomb was definitely empty, but there was no sign of Jesus. A couple within the group, who lived 7 miles away, decided to go home before it was too late in the day. When a stranger drew alongside them, they told him all about the death of Jesus and about the perplexing events and rumours of the day, without actually realising they were talking with Jesus himself. He didn't let on, but did explain the scriptures that concerned himself, and they invited him to stay the night because it was getting late. Now, normally at a meal it was the host who gave thanks for the meal, but Jesus broke with convention. He jumped in, and just as he had done at the Last Supper, he took bread, gave thanks, broke it, and gave it to them. And when they immediately realised who he was, he disappeared. And despite the lateness of the hour, the couple rushed the 7 miles back to Jerusalem to tell the others what had happened, and discovered that Jesus had appeared to Peter too. And then he appeared among them yet again, convincing them all that it really was him, really and truly risen. "This is what I told you while I was still with you," he reminded them, adding that they were not to go home at the end of the feast. God had something more for them, something that would make them compelling witnesses all around the world of what had happened among them. So they stayed put for 7 weeks, constantly attending the temple and praising God, and, no doubt, wondering what else it was that God had in store for them.